Revelation 12:11. It says, "We overcome our enemy by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of our testimony." My testimony today has a lot to do with what has been on recently and what many other teenagers have dealt with before, or maybe even still even deal with to this day. Ever since freshman year, my first day of high school, I struggled with happiness. Some of you are probably thinking to yourselves right now, how, or I don't see that in you at all, because all of you that know me here or see me around know I've always been the girl with a smile on her face 24/7 and I never stop laughing. When I got into high school, I felt like I needed to be making everyone else happy, that it was only my job to please others. So while I was being there for everyone else and helping people who needed someone, I forgot about myself in the meantime. Yes, of course, helping others made me smile, but when it came to the end of the day, I realized I was left alone. I didn't really have many people there for me like I was there for them. I'm a very emotional person. My feelings get hurt easily, and being alone has been one of my biggest fears. Even to this day, my family are in a store, and I have to go to the restroom, and I ask Kyle to go with me, because I don't want to be by myself. But while in high school, everyone is trying to find out who they are. Everyone is trying to find a place to fit in. I spent my whole year looking for happiness. I had happiness out on my mind all the time. I would listen to a song all the time that says happiness is overrated, and to me, I thought that was true. I thought that happiness is one of those things that anybody's going to get. I started looking for happiness through anything I could find. I looked for happiness through friends. I looked for happiness through school activities. I looked for happiness through boys. I thought maybe having a boyfriend would take care of that, but it didn't. I was running all around the place just trying to feel something for once that made me feel alive. I started putting boys before everything else. I started putting activities before everything else. I wasn't putting the things that were my priorities first. On March 12, 2011, I was at Winterfest with my youth. It was my 4th year going, and on my way there, I had in my mind that God was really going to do something for me and my youth group that weekend. When we got there Friday, we went to the first service, and it was so amazing. I got to be front row and watched Toby Matt perform. Everyone saw me happy on a whole new level, just jumping around to the music at the mosh pit. Then Saturday, we had another service that night. Eddie James was performing, and when Eddie James was in the building, the entire crowd gets so excited and pumped for God. It's phenomenal. As I was standing in the mosh pit at the bottom, my youth was at the top at the arena worshiping too. I looked up and saw them, and at that moment, something told me to go back to my seat and be with them. In my mind, I'm like, okay, God must have something in store for my youth group tonight then. When I got back up there, I was standing with Joey, and we were listening to Francis Chen speak to the whole arena filled with thousands and thousands of teenagers like me. A few more speakers had come up, and they all had powerful topics that they preached about. But in closing, Eddie James started playing more music, and the speaker was still talking. And all of a sudden, I broke down in tears. I stood at the end of the railing of the stairs by myself and just was bawling my eyes out. After a couple minutes, Pastor Jason came over to me and asked what was on my mind and what I had going on with me that had me all tore up. I was clueless on what to say. I couldn't put what was on my mind into words. But I told him I kept looking for happiness in the wrong things. But what blew my mind is Pastor Jason started talking to me. He named every single thing that I was going through. He didn't miss a thing. He knew every little thing on my mind that I was thinking about and that I wanted to change. He named each and every one as he was speaking to me. I sat there in amazement, but I didn't say anything. My arms were crossed. I felt like I had the worst attitude at the time in the building. I kept saying to myself, God, why can't I find happiness? Why can't I be satisfied with life? You put me here, you should be able to change that. Right with that, I felt Jason pull my arms and lift them to God. No more standing there with my arms crossed. No more stuck-up attitude because I can't find what I need in life. So my hands were raised and the music is still going. I asked God the same thing one more time. Why can't I find happiness in anything? And right then God spoke to me and said, to be truly happy, you have to put what gives you complete happiness first and the rest last. Through me, all problems will be solved. Through me, you won't go another day feeling lonely. I started crying again. Everything started making sense. I needed to put God first instead of boys or other things. By not putting God first, I was being selfish, not caring about Him. But ever since that day, I've put everything else aside and I've looked up to God. He knows me better than anyone else. He created me and has a plan for me. I know that I will never have to worry about being alone because in reality, there is no reason to be in fear of loneliness. God is here with me all the time. He never left me and He never will. There is nothing that you can do to make Him go away. He loves me. He loves each and every one of you. Woo!
Just messed me up, man. Wow. That was an incredible night, let me tell you that. Our whole youth group, not just Brittney Branch, but man, every single one of them was worshiping in a way that I've never seen or experienced, and God really moved in their life. I wish everybody could have been there. It was incredible. But I believe